Today we are drawing Archangel from X-Men and Marvel. And by today we're drawing, I mean several months ago, but I've just been sitting on this footage. Takes a while to edit, life gets busy, but here we are. So I'm almost watching this for the first time. We're enjoying it together. I've never drawn Archangel before, but I appreciate that he exudes the just the period of 80s and 90s, and he's really fun to draw. The 80s and 90s were crazy because they would just take any character that had been around for a while and they would try to make them cool and edgy, and sometimes it would be cool. And then other times it just feels like edgy for edgy's sake. And I don't know if that's looking back on with my mindset now, but definitely defined a whole entire era. And maybe that's your favorite era of comics. I don't know. I mainly enjoyed Archangel. I think he was on the X-Men animated show, so I didn't actually read any comics with Archangel in it, with the whole apocalypse timeline. But this was definitely fun to draw. I like drawing characters that I wouldn't pick for myself, but then someone comes along and commissions me, and it ends up being a lot of fun because it pushes me out of my I don't want to say comfort zone, but just my normal picks for things that I would draw. So that's what's fun about commissions, is you all have the things you love and are kind enough to hire me to draw it for you. And I always appreciate that. I appreciate this job and the fun it brings. Also drew for this guy, Warlock. I think I didn't have time to finish that one, but it's on my Instagram if you haven't checked it out, at Clint Kisor. Pretty much on any social media, you'll find me on there. I think I'm the only Clint Kisor out there in the world, and that makes me feel special. But yeah, a lot of my stuff's on there. Sometimes it's hard. I'm limited on what I can film and keep because I only have so much space on my phone and iPad to store footage. So this is why I'm kind of catching up with this old footage on things that I drew previously. I think I have one more to edit down, and then I'll be all caught up and I can maybe get some new stuff. But this is new for you. You've never seen this. Unless you follow me elsewhere, then you maybe have already seen this drawing before. And if you can see above that eyebrow, I almost started coloring before I did any grays for the shadows. So, oops. But I realized pretty quickly. And I think I drew this like right before I was going on vacation. So I was like hauling it on this one and the other one that I did to get it done so that I wouldn't have to carry it with me to the beach. And thankfully I got it done. I think I had one that I had to carry with me, and that's another video. Stay tuned. But I got this one done. I got the Warlock done, and I think they turned out pretty good. Sometimes I get to the grays and I leave the grays and I'm like, I don't want to put color on it. I like the way it looks now. You're like almost scared to move forward. Sometimes when you get to certain stages, like sometimes you'll do the inks and you're like, these inks look pretty good. I want to leave them. And you're almost scared to move forward, but you just kind of just force yourself to kind of, okay, let's put some grays. And then you're like addicted to the grays. The grays look pretty cool. I want to leave them as the grays, but then you force yourself to go put some color down, and then you appreciate the color. Like I've talked before, sometimes you go out and you try to you try to push it to that next level of like putting color on something or trying something new, and you ruin it and you end up having to start it over. I think I actually drew this Archangel twice, and by drew I mean like really quick sketch on another sheet of paper, and it wasn't quite big enough, and then like I with these big heavy hands pressed down too hard, I guess, and so I couldn't get it erased fully. So I was finally just like, let's start it over. And that was a little frantic before vacation, but that it turned out fine. Got it done. Looked pretty good. Excited with how it turned out. I love drawing smoke and clouds, and I always put them in there. I feel like it just adds this element of it just adds something to look at, I guess. I don't know. I appreciate it. Finally, adding the colors. I started with just coloring him because I'm going to be completely transparent with you in that I had no clue what kind of background colors or just general vibe that I was going to do on this one. I had no clue. I did not have the time to sit around and think too hard about it. So I just kind of went after it. And even sometimes on some other pieces, if I'm really like kind of hesitant on what color I'm going to do, I will snap a picture with my iPad, take it into Procreate, and I will do some really rough looking colors just to figure it out ahead of time so that I don't ruin the work I've already done on it. And so that's a little pro tip hack if you have an iPad or something, or I'm sure you could do it on your phone somehow. I'm not sure. But sometimes that'll kind of, instead of putting down markers and being like, wow, that looks awful, you can kind of do it ahead of time, figure it out, adjust some colors on Procreate or whatever you're using, and you can kind of get an idea of like, okay, this works. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, what if I made this color or that color? And you can play around, and normally you can figure all that out before you even take the cap off of a marker. I did not do this here, so you're seeing me wing it live, I guess. Not really live, but you know what I mean. Sometimes those details get lost when you put colors on there. Like, the details on the uniform kind of pop more sometimes when it's black and white, but whatever works. I don't know if I have like ADD or whatever it is. I've never been diagnosed, but sometimes I can have too many like choices on what to work on a piece, and I'll just like hit like a gridlock shutdown where I can't even like, there's too many choices. Like, do I work on the clouds? Do I work on the face? Do I work on the wings? And so normally I'll opt out for doing the no-brainer easy stuff first, like the blue or the I guess it's pink. I picked pink. I don't know if it's red. It looks cool. I'll pick those first because it's not a lot of thinking involved. You just like, he's blue, let's color him blue. We'll figure out the clouds in the background later. His wings are this color, we'll color him this color. Not a lot of thought there. Because I find if I have too many like choices, I'll get nowhere. I'll end up on YouTube. I'll end up playing video games. I don't know, watching Netflix. But if I can do what is easy first, it will make it a lot easier to drift into the next thing and the next thing. And then before long, you look up and you're like, oh, I'm done. I always end up picking these bright neon colors, or I guess they're not really neon, but like just bright saturated colors. I don't know if that's deep inside me. I don't know if that's my taste. I really don't know. That it seems what I always end up to pick, but like I said, usually when I'm sitting down to do these things, I'm just sitting down to make something that I think looks cool. And sometimes you make stuff and you're like, that in fact did not look cool, and I'm not planning on doing that again. But sometimes you find stuff that you're like, hey, I really tried this color combination on these clouds and I liked how that looked. It really popped. I might try that again on something else. And that's how you kind of grow and you adapt. And I mean, you don't want to do the same thing every time you draw. You do want to kind of get better and just grow. One time you'll be like, hey, I drew this fist this way on this piece and it really worked. And so I like the way that fist looks. And that's kind of, you just end up finding out how your brain is interpreting the world. Because a lot of us are artists and we are all interpreting the world a little differently than someone else. And that's what's cool about art. There's no one else on the whole earth that's like you. You interpret the world like no one else. We can get similar to one another, but that's what's cool about art. So it's like, if you're feeling a little apprehensive about making some art, just make it, man, so I can see it, because I want to see it. I want to see what you experience in life. I want to see your interpretations of the world. And thanks for checking this drawing out. I really like the colors and how they turned out. They pop. It feels cool. And I hope the guy really liked this one, because I enjoyed making it. And thank you for checking it out. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more.